competitive sparring matching. So we had to stop sparring because we got too heated in the sparring match. So Dan pulled us out. Yeah, he got the better of me. He outboxed me. He got the better of me. He did his thing that day, but not to me.
Him either. You know, I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, you know, and how he was acting. Being that, you know, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, you know, we was all cool at one point in time.
Terence Crawford has responded strongly to Floyd Mayweather after the boxing icon shared footage from their past sparring session in an attempt to ridicule Crawford and suggest that the three-division undisputed champion is not superior to him, addressing critics who questioned Mayweather's legacy and Crawford's standing in the sport.
Good hook, baby. There you go. You only threw one. Good jab. Don't break. He's a beast. He's a beast. He's a beast, baby.
Floyd Mayweather has been trying to make Terence Crawford look bad ever since Crawford defeated Canelo, and when boxing fans started saying Crawford was a better fighter than him, Floyd responded by calling him out, getting no response, and then posting a short clip of their old sparring session online that showed him getting the upper hand, before quietly deleting the video shortly after. That did not stop Terence Crawford from noticing the post and responding to it, as he fired back at Floyd Mayweather by calling him a hater and saying the clip was incomplete, explaining that he caught Floyd clean many times during their sparring and questioning why Floyd was acting in a shady way.
Mentioned and talked about and, you know, signed, you know, I just felt like he just did a lot of fake stuff and said a lot of stuff that, you know, a person that you claim that you cool with, you would never say. So that was my big issue with him. You know, I just know, you know, character take you a long way, and I just don't agree with it.
Floyd Mayweather has been pushing for a fight with Terence Crawford ever since fans started calling Crawford the greatest after his win over Canelo, something that clearly bothered Floyd because he was never undisputed while Crawford has achieved undisputed status in 3 weight divisions. But Crawford has largely ignored him and brushed it off by saying a fight with Floyd would be nothing more than easy money.
Using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his.
Floyd Mayweather felt pushed to call out Terence Crawford not only because fans were demanding it, but also because 2 fighters he previously beat publicly said Crawford was the better boxer, which came across as a direct blow to Mayweather's legacy, as both Canelo and Shane Mosley, who lost to Floyd on points 15 years ago, made comments supporting the idea that Crawford surpasses him.
All right, Jeff Zimmerman here with the champ, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, 2-division world champ, and oh, by the way, a Hall of Famer. Man, Tim, I want to call you the most outspoken man in boxing. And I mean that affectionately. I gave Keith Thurman.
Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Shane Mosley boldly stated that he thinks Terence Crawford is actually better than Floyd Mayweather, while still acknowledging Floyd's talent, saying Crawford is bigger, moving up in weight, and a more complete fighter overall, and that although Mayweather is extremely skilled and it would have been a tough fight, Crawford would likely have the advantage because of his size and reach.
Think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
Fans and experts around the world have already started debating whether Terence Crawford can now be considered the greatest fighter of all time after his historic victory over Canelo, a win that has once again placed the 37-year-old at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings, while Canelo, who had previously expressed his thoughts before the fight, reaffirmed his stance afterward, stating clearly at the post-fight press conference that he believes Crawford is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather.
If you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
This statement carries particular weight because it came from Canelo, who has faced both Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather in the ring, and his bold claim immediately after losing shows either remarkable sportsmanship or a genuine belief in Crawford's superiority. His comments sparked immediate debate throughout the boxing world, with some praising Crawford for moving up multiple weight classes and taking on elite competition, while others defended Mayweather's perfect record and exceptional career. Crawford himself pointed out that Canelo had first-hand experience with both fighters, telling the Ariel Helwani show, "Canelo was in the ring with both of us. People can say what they want, but he's actually faced both of us."
You know, how did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best.
As well by just pivoting, you know, on the angle and, you know, making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford, you know, try to.
Ultimately, this debate will continue because it comes down to personal opinion, but the facts are clear. Both fighters have been dominant, with Crawford undefeated for now, long-standing champions across multiple weight classes, and both destined to be remembered as two of the greatest American boxers in history. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, trainer McIntyre, wearing a hat with GAT, made it clear he considers Crawford the greatest of all time, crediting not just Bud but his entire team for helping him dominate 3 divisions like no one else today. When asked directly about Canelo's statement, he was straightforward. "Who, Terence? Of course he is. Of course he's better."
You think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but no.
For Bulak, the discussion is simple. Crawford has already exceeded what Mayweather achieved in the ring. While the debate continues, Crawford stays calm, and after beating Alvarez on the scorecards, he avoided getting drawn into the historical comparison, saying, "Floyd was the greatest of his era. I'm the greatest of mine. We don't need to compare ourselves." His words show respect for Mayweather, but that hasn't stopped fans and experts from keeping the controversy alive.
Who you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
After all, Mayweather defeated a younger Canelo in 2013, while Crawford beat a far more experienced version of the Mexican, giving credibility to this new perspective. Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith added an important nuance, pointing out that Crawford's greatness comes from not only outboxing Canelo technically but also trading punches, handling pressure, and emerging stronger. At the same time, Smith drew a distinction with Mayweather, noting that Floyd was a defensive genius who was extremely difficult to hit.
Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician.
According to the analyst, the key difference is clear. Crawford showed toughness and adaptability, while Mayweather built his legacy on nearly flawless defense. Opinions are split. Some argue Crawford has already surpassed Mayweather, while others insist Floyd's defensive mastery remains unmatched. What is certain is that both fighters defined their eras and raised the sport with their unique styles. The Crawford versus Mayweather debate is just getting started, and with Canelo's remarks and Bomax's praise, it's set to stay in the headlines. But there's no doubt that Bud Crawford has already secured his place among boxing's all-time greats.
Crawford against Mayweather, right? How do you think a fight between both of them turn out?
If Mayweather gets hit with Crawford like I hit him and rocked, it might not end well for Mayweather. They might be over it. But Mayweather could outbox Crawford, I think, because Crawford has the mindset that I'm trying to knock you out, and Mayweather knows how to play to that I'm trying to knock you out type of thing, because he's used to people coming at him trying to hit him hard all the time.
However, an interesting discussion has emerged about how Mayweather and Crawford each built their undefeated records, a point that active boxer Ryan Garcia raised during a September 10th segment on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring show.
And another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause when he was younger. So, I don't know. I don't go off of that. Floyd is the best fighter, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter.
During a discussion about Max Kellerman's view that Manny Pacquiao should rank above Mayweather on the pound-for-pound list of the century's best boxers, Ryan Garcia responded to ESPN's recent article placing Floyd first and Pacquiao second. Garcia argued that while Floyd Money Mayweather changed the game, he did so in a bad way, explaining that Mayweather mastered the art of choosing when to fight and when to avoid opponents, making huge fights and money along the way. However, Garcia criticized him for never really facing fighters in their prime after the junior lightweight division, saying this approach shifted the sport in a negative way, with everyone now focused on protecting their undefeated records.
Game like Floyd Money Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, that he's the best in that game. He's the best in, making money and making all the, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had
a lot of the stuff that Canelo was doing, and that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect, because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However,
Crawford's recent achievements have led many to question the traditional rankings, and the timing is ideal as he competes at the peak of his powers. On his show Inside the Ring, Max Kellerman used his decades of boxing expertise to weigh in on the Crawford versus Mayweather debate, recognizing that Mayweather holds clear advantages in areas like resume, experience, defensive skill, and hand speed, technical strengths that cemented him as one of boxing's most dominant champions.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost.
However, Kellerman noted that after leaving the lightweight division, Mayweather became very selective with his opponents, carefully choosing when to face certain tough fighters. While this strategy helped him maintain an undefeated record, it raised questions about his willingness to fight top contenders in their prime. In contrast, Kellerman highlighted Crawford's apparent readiness to face anyone at any time, a mindset that has earned him respect from both fans and fellow fighters.
I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with every...
Kellerman acknowledged that Floyd's resume is deeper than Crawford's, and that he was faster with better defense, but emphasized that Floyd carefully chose his fights, especially after leaving lightweight. In contrast, Crawford consistently wanted to face anyone, even if his resume is lighter in some areas, which matters to fans and fighters alike. The analyst also drew comparisons between Crawford and legends like Roy Jones Jr., noting that Crawford has earned a similar level of respect among his peers, a status that goes beyond records and statistics.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that fight.
Yes, sir.
Floyd
I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah.
They came with different sizes and skills, but all shared the same goal: to beat Floyd Mayweather. Zab Judah, known as a masterful boxer, initially threw Mayweather off with his speed and combinations in 2006, with 2 of the 3 judges scoring him ahead after the first 2 rounds. However, once Mayweather settled in, he took control, outsmarted the trash-talking New Yorker, and went on to claim a unanimous decision victory.
Guess what I just got done studying? Guess what I just got done studying? Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah? Yep, that's what I just got done studying. And I'm here to tell you guys, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence...
The World Boxing Council's latest super middleweight rankings are out, and Canelo Alvarez is no longer the champion, now listed as the #1 contender at 168 pounds. This shift has sparked discussions about the biggest changes in the division and what it could mean for Canelo's future. Meanwhile, Marcos Maidana took lessons from those who came before him, and in 2 fights against Mayweather, he avoided a traditional boxing match, instead using unorthodox, rough tactics, ducking in, throwing unconventional punches, and pressuring Mayweather for all 24 rounds.
Crawford would beat a prime Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it would be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. Floyd, what the advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he's versatile. He can.
Although effective, Maidana still lacked the complete skill set to get the win. Miguel Cotto, on the other hand, had it all. He could box, move, fight inside and outside, and was incredibly tough, but even his Hall of Fame level talent wasn't enough to beat Mayweather. Tim Bradley believes Mayweather retired at the right time to protect his record and confidently predicts that Terence Crawford would defeat Mayweather in his prime, telling Fight.com, "I said this 5 years ago, and I'm telling you, he would beat him."
Whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position.
As Bradley has long noted, he's been praising Crawford for years, and his high regard was recently validated. Last weekend at Allegiant Stadium, Crawford, the underdog against Canelo Alvarez, delivered a dominant performance, earning a unanimous decision and capturing all 4 major world titles at 168 pounds. The Omaha, Nebraska native was nearly flawless, convincing many that he is now the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, a distinction that once belonged to Mayweather.
And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you with either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough.
While Mayweather was at his peak, he never faced Crawford, leaving the what-if scenario open. With Floyd retired, Tim Bradley has been speculating, insisting that in a hypothetical matchup, Crawford would come out on top. "It's nothing against Floyd," Bradley said. "He's one of my favorite fighters ever and a fantastic competitor. He'd be Crawford's toughest opponent, but I believe Crawford would have enough to win, a close decision in his favor."
It was exciting. The best man won.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe so. I'm not really sure.
Would you be interested in seeing a rematch, or would the fight be the same? Would it ultimately end up the same way?
I don't know. It's up to those two guys. They want to do a rematch. Do a rematch. If not, keep it moving.
Would you watch it, or?
Mayweather clearly beat Canelo in 2013, yet Alvarez praised Crawford as far superior in his post-fight press conference. The 48-year-old Mayweather acknowledged that his former rival might be past his peak and said Crawford deserved the win. "It's good for boxing," he told TMZ Sports. "It was exciting. The best man won. I don't know if Canelo is washed up. Boxing takes a lot out of the body. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'm not really sure."
Floyd, talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
The fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this serious?
Both fighters have stayed quiet about their next moves. After his loss to Crawford, Canelo met with Saudi Arabian boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh, confirming he will honor his 2 remaining fights with the Riyadh season, while Mayweather is set to return in an exhibition against former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson next year. That's all for now. Stay updated on the latest boxing news, moments, and events by subscribing to our YouTube channel and turning on notifications to catch more quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.